We have a fish and some baked potatoes. What could go wrong? Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode from our 1.20 adventure. In our last episode, we made this gorgeous bridge behind me, and I absolutely love how this turned out. We also were able to decorate our armor with the coast trim and quartz, and we also were able to go into the nether, and we found the rib armor and the snout armor, as well as we explored the bastion and found pig step, the snout banner pattern, and a whole bunch of blaze rods from that nether fortress. And we were also able to name our axolotls. We named our pink one Sakura, which means cherry blossom, and we named our brown axolotl Kuma, which means bear in Japanese. Now for today's episode, since we have all of those blaze rods now, I kind of want to work our way over to that village that's infected and try to cure them and start on the villager grind just a little bit. But the other thing I want to do is actually connect that village up with our nether portal, so we're going to be working in the village and creating a nether tunnel between them just to make traveling a little bit quicker. Now the other thing I want to do has to do with this block right here, which you may have noticed in the last episode. Now, even though this block just looks like a green waffle, it's actually exactly where our skeleton spawner is, down in the caves. So we're gonna work on transforming this into an XP spawner so that I can get levels quicker. But before we work on that transformation, I think I want to go to that village during the night and cure as many as possible. So let's go make some potions to transform them and cure them first. I moved all of my potion brewing stuff down here. So let's start with blaze rods, and we need nether wart. So let's grab some bottles as well. We've got our little water pool right here. We'll add 3, we'll add nether wart, we'll break down our blaze rod into blaze powder, put that in there, and then we'll get our awkward potions to start with.
A few moments later.
I just realized I did this wrong. I was supposed to just put a fermented spider eye. So let's honestly, I'm kind of just gonna make some fire res potions off of this because we're still gonna need them. Next, we need to grab spider eyes, brown mushroom, and sugar for those potions. Okay. Oh, I don't think I have brown mushroom anywhere. So we have to go looking for that. But then I need spider eyes, which we have plenty of these. And I'm gonna bring gunpowder over, but it looks like we need to go collect some brown mushrooms. So we've got sugarcane in here, so I'm gonna move some sugarcane over. But let's go collect some brown mushrooms next. I'm gonna close my door first. Okay, so here's the dark oak forest area, and oh, there we go. Okay, so let's take our boat and do a quick spin around. And let's go over to get that brown mushroom over there that's hiding. All right, we've got 15 brown mushrooms. That should be good for starters. All right, and now with the brown mushrooms, we're gonna make the sugar first. Then we'll make the fermented spider eye. We've got fire res potions, and redstone makes it longer, doesn't it? Let's add some redstone. We're just gonna have extra fire res potions on hand. Perfect, now we have some 8. Local brewery, let's go. And now we've got some 8-minute fire res potions, so we're gonna keep those here for safekeeping. And now we're actually gonna make the correct thing since I had it wrong the first time. It's always with the weakness potion, fermented spider eye first, and not nether wart first. So we're gonna wait for these guys, and then we're gonna add some gunpowder, and we should be good to go. And so I spent some time just starting to brew up a bunch of potions, adding in the gunpowder, stocking them in the chest, adding more spider eyes, then adding the gunpowder, adding them into our chest, and repeating that process until I felt I had enough to be able to go cure the villagers. All right, we have like 9 potions of weakness now and only 6 apples. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna leave the rest of these goodies in here. And then what we're gonna do is grab all of these potion bottles, go back upstairs. Oh, it's night. I'm gonna take this gold for now. Also, thank you to those that commented giving me the solution for why the piglins weren't actually like trading and picking up the gold. I do have mob griefing off just because I had so many endermen griefing my blocks in my last series, so I turned that off without realizing that it affects piglins. So instead, I just had to right click on them and they did start trading with me. So I have started being able to get drops from them. I just have to right click on each piglin as I want to trade. But I was told that using vanilla tweaks, you can actually use it to turn off one specific mob from griefing so that we could still have the piglins trading, but endermen can't pick up blocks. So that's good to know for me and for you guys if you weren't aware of that either, because I definitely had no clue that was a thing, but I'm definitely going to keep that in mind for future series because the more you know, right? Next, we're going to quickly come inside and make some more golden apples just so that we can have enough apples to our weakness potion ratios. And I think we should be good for now. So it's night right now, but I'm gonna sleep through this one night and then we're gonna make our way over to the village and we're gonna set up a little base camp to watch them from afar and then go in at night, all sneaky like. So for starters, I'm going to bring some boats because I'm going to probably have to trap villagers. We're going to bring some building blocks to keep them inside their houses. And I'm going to bring some flint and steel. And we're going to grab some obsidian just so that we can make the portal when we get close. Now, let's make our way over to spawn and go camp out that village till nightfall. All right, guys, I've turned all of my distances down to 8 so that hopefully none of the villagers will load in as we get closer, but I'm gonna just stop here and make sure that we stay far enough away from them so that they don't load in, we don't get too close, we wait till it's nightfall. But as we get closer, I'm very excited to see how many are left, but I am a little bit concerned that because we've been in this area in the past, that some of these guys have already kind of died. So I am curious to see if there's even villagers left here, and if there's not, it is gonna be a very sad ordeal because that means we were not able to cure the infected village before they just, well, wandered and did villager things and walked in sunlight when they can't walk in sunlight and all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, well, this village is already very quiet, which does not bode well for these guys. Okay, let's see if we can find anybody. And slowly, as I checked inside each and every building and house, I realized that it didn't seem like there were any villages left alive until... No, we've got one! Wait, are you kidding me? You're the nitwit? The nitwit's the only one that survived? How is this right? Checked the last few houses, but it was true. The nitwit was the only one to survive. Well, piggies, I guess you can be free. You know, the villagers don't need you anymore because, I mean, the nitwit's the only one that would keep an eye on you guys and, well, he's stuck right now. Well, that definitely changes our plans for today slightly. I think we're still going to use that village that we already passed by a few times as our main village and just collect villagers from there. And I mean, we can still transform their village area into something really cozy and cute. So I think that will still be our plan. We just don't get to cure the villagers and it's a little bit different. Not quite as fun, but still we're going to use all these potions because we want the cheapest prices we can get. So I think we're just gonna head back towards that one village we've been to a few times and I'll meet you guys over there. All right, and we are back at the village, but these guys are all alive, so I can sleep through the night just fine, which is what I'm going to do. All right, I'm gonna keep this bed here as my little spot, and this will actually be where I keep everything for these villagers for now. And then we're gonna set up a little nether portal for them here too. So let me just go find a different house to put this nether portal in, and we're gonna keep the villagers out of it. But this is gonna be our village that we go with, and over time we can transform this place as well. I think it is pretty fitting still that we are like right on the edge of a bunch of jungle. There's bamboo over here. Oh, and there's azalea, lovely. And right around this corner here, there is a spider spawner, which is cool. So if we do need to get more eyes for making more weakness potions or whatnot, we can just use that spider spawner here. Next, it was time to find a house where we could set up the nether portal. And once I picked one, I just started breaking away the walls to fill it in with the obsidian, and then it was ready to light. Okay, let's go see where we are in this village nether spawn. Oh my gosh, that was terrifying. Oh, basalt! Lots of danger blocks everywhere. Love that. Okay, crimson. I feel like if there's this much crimson in this direction, this is probably the way for us to get through places. Wow, okay. Crimson there. Nothing but basalt. Nice. I'm going to the overworld because I don't want to be in the basalt delta any longer. Now we know where this village ends up in the Nether. We're going to spend some time bridging back from this village to our area. So I'm going to collect a bunch of building blocks so that we are able to bridge around and get places. How we're going to grab the blocks is actually a little bit of terraforming at the same time. If I go into free cam, you can see that there's lots of just like cliff faces and drop-offs around here. So I'm just going to grab a bunch of dirt from right here and smooth this out so that it'll be easier to build and transform this village later on. So this is what happens if you take all of the villager beds but one. Just a big old slumber party, except no one can sleep because there's one bed. Oh, that's too funny. Well, we have almost a full row of just stacks of dirt, so I feel like this is good enough to go into the Nether and bridge our way back home. So we'll see how this goes, but for starters, I'm gonna kick this dude out and sleep in the, oh my, oh gosh. Okay, guys, no need to crowd. I'll fix your bed situation later. All right, let's see how this goes, making our way back home. I am just a little bit scared, but you know, it's fine. We have a fish and some baked potatoes. What could go wrong? And once we were in the Nether, we checked to see that where our coordinates were and started making our way towards where we thought our Nether base portal was gonna be. Started bridging through different sections, trying to be as safe as possible, avoiding lava whenever possible. And we finally bridged down into a more open spot, and then we realized that our home portal was closer than we realized. We just had to take out this ghast first. Hey, return to sender. Let's go. I was just trying to kill him, but I'll take return to sender. Destroy a ghast with a fireball. Okay, I thought this was gonna be way further of an adventure. That's actually super close. Okay, wow. Our next task was figuring out how on earth we can get down to our base Nether portal. We could see our bastion from here, but it seemed like we were kind of on a floating island. Then we realized there was a bunch of crimson land hovering above our Nether portal, so we began digging through the wall, through the crimson forest, and then hopped on the trees until we made it to the portal. Now we're back at our base area, and this feels good. I didn't realize that it would literally just be like right over there, and now we kind of have a little way to get down and around. But what we're gonna do is just kind of clean this up a little bit. Like, this doesn't look the best. It's a little bit dangerous still. But basically, we just go over to that pillar, and then we go straight across, and then right over in there is where we were trying to get down. But clearly, we would not have had success making it down, because there's literally no way to do it. But what I do want to do is create a ladder system. So we're going to go back to the overworld, and we are actually going to grab supplies so that we can make a little ladder system to get down and over there. And we are back, and it feels good to be home. I'm setting my spawn and taking a nap since we had a long adventure through the stressful Nether. But we're going to grab some more supplies so that we can make that tunnel a little bit more accessible and safe. I'm just going to make a pretty much tunnel straight up with the scaffolding, and that'll be our main way to get there. So that's what we're gonna work on. So let's grab some more bamboo. We're gonna grab string for scaffolding, and we're just gonna make a lot more. And now we're gonna go back over into the Nether, create that tunnel to the village a little bit more safe, and then we're gonna go see if we can get mending quickly. Okay, so I just saw our dirt, so we're gonna create our scaffolding tower like right here, because that is just about where we were. And then I started towering the scaffolding up, and on my way down added dirt on the side columns to box myself in so no ghasts could get at me. And then once we got to the bottom, we just kept on going back and forth, creating all of the different sides till we completed it. All right, so now this is our way to get down to the ground level. And then what we're gonna do for now is literally, we're just gonna follow our little cobblestone, avoid the hoglins, and just run our way back to our little portal. It's pretty ugly because it's all made out of dirt, but eventually we will fix it up and make it look pretty. But for now, that's a future red problem. For now, I want to go back to our village and try to get mending because everything I have is starting to get a little bit worn down and I want my armor to be in better condition. Once back in the overworld, we decided to use this animal pen as the place to corral villagers to get them to lock in some trades. Then we did the usual reroll grind of trying to get villagers to take the correct trades and did that for a bit until we got Silk Touch for 6. We then got Mending for 12 and continued the process. The next problem I ran into was these golems were in the same area where I was re-rolling and picking up their trading blocks with my axe. So I had to take out these iron golems one by one and try not to get hit by them with their reach. We then traded sticks with our fletchers to get more emeralds so we would have enough mending books to put it on our armor and our tools. All right. I have been working on collecting up a bunch of mending books, and right now we have a ton of mending. So that means we can put it on our diamond armor and add it to our tools. I will be putting it on our iron sword just because it is such a good sword. Phase 2 of today is turning that skeleton spawner into a XP farm. So we're going back with our books, and we're gonna start transforming that spawner room into an XP farm. So let's get going. And now that we're back, we're gonna see how many mending books we can put on things, and then we're going to get started converting the XP farm into a place for us to just work on leveling things up. So we added mending to our chest plate, then our iron sword, then our silk touch pickaxe, our fortune pickaxe, then we added it to our boots and our leggings. Then we had all of our armor upgraded, so we added it to our shovel, named our shovel Silky, and we had everything upgraded. Now, one thing that I've never done before in a series is have you guys in the comments name my tools or my armor. And I think I want to have you guys name my iron sword that I'm going to use for my spider slicing and my skeleton XP farm slicing. So let me know in the comments what you think we should name our iron sword. This is going to be an XP sword because I'm hopefully going to be able to get villagers or find enough diamonds to make a real diamond sword be my out and about adventuring sword. But this one is going to just be the one that we use for the slicing, and I'm going to combine it with this sword once I get enough XP so that I can add a sweeping edge to it. So these are going to be the combined ones once I'm done with it. But let me know in the comments what we should name my little iron sword here. Now, as far as how we're going to decorate the skeleton XP farm, I actually want to have a building up here. And the idea that I have is, since we're going to be using our weapon, our sword, to slice up these mobs and get XP, I thought it would be kind of fun to make a training dojo be the build that hides the XP farm. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna have a training dojo be above ground, and then there's gonna be water chutes that are in the middle of it, kind of hidden, that are going to bring us all the way down to where the XP farm is, and that room will also be decorated like a little training dojo, and that's where we will slice the mobs. And on the top here, we're gonna have our armor, our weapons, everything that we would need for training to then go down and slice up those mobs. But first things first, we need to go clear out the room for the XP farm and get everything set up for our Skelly XP farm. So you know how those go, guys, but I will leave a tutorial in the comments below if you want to see the one that I'm following, but it's just your classic XP farm maker with the soul sand and the kelp, and it shoots them up and brings them back down to get rid of some of their health, so they're one hits. So I'm gonna go clear out that room now. And here it is, and I think this looks so cool and cute. I tried to replicate kind of those paper wall kind of dividers that they have with just some banners, and I think it looks pretty good. I have the kind of training mats on the floor here. I had some larger chests that I'm slowly getting rid of my chests and making the storage on the walls. But this is what we got, guys. I tried to incorporate as much of the green bamboo as possible because I haven't really used a lot of it yet. So I made the green bamboo kind of like a wall texture. We've got the armor that we're getting from the skeletons. We've got bone blocks just to represent what's coming out of this place. And I think this looks super cool. On the other side, we've just got some more armor, we've got pots, we've got the grindstone, we've got even the anvil so we can combine armor we're getting from these skeletons. And I think this room just looks so cool. I wanted to have the particles for both the cherry and the spore blossom, so I added some of those into our ceiling. But what do you guys think of our XP spawner? I think it fits our area very well with the theme we have of kind of like a Japanese dojo style, but we use different color palettes because I kind of want to have different color themes depending on what the room is used for. So we're using more of the green bamboo, the spruce, the oak as more of our farm's color palette, with obviously our starter area being the mangrove, stripped bamboo, and dark oak. But this is our training dojo XP farm, and we just get to slice these guys whenever we need to come down and get stuff. It all just funnels into this double chest, which I might expand into more chests. If we do go behind this wall here, there is kind of like this open room back here because I had to have space so that I could access the spawner, which is right here. So we could turn this into the room where we have the additional chests. But for now, I don't need a whole lot, so we're just gonna leave it as the one chest and go with that. But I think this is just a perfect little space for what we need for now, and I love this room so much. And it makes me excited to spend time down here just getting XP. Now we have our bubble elevator going all the way up, and we have our drop chute with just some water to catch us, but we need to work on creating the rooms that this XP spawner leads to. Enjoy the time lapse. All right, everyone, our above ground training dojo is done, and I think this turned out so good. Now it's quite obvious that I changed the roof shape halfway through the time lapse. I realized that the other shape we had was more of like a barn roof, and this shape reminds me more of your classic dojo, and it gives us the curved edges once again, which is what I felt I was missing. So all the way around, we're just using the green bamboo blocks with spruce as kind of the trim edge for the roof, and then on the sides we just have the green bamboo as walls with oak and spruce. We use some composters to create little planter boxes, and here's what we have on the inside. I added once again the cherry and the spore blossom to give us both types of particles, which I absolutely love, with leaves, glowberries, and lanterns hanging from the ceiling. On the sides, we've got bone blocks, we've got armor stands once again, we've got stacks of bone blocks just to kind of, again, represent what's going to be going through this area. And we have shelves to place new things as we get them. And I think this is just so cozy, So beautiful. In the center, I put a little training dojo mat, and obviously we can sleep here as well. But I think this is beautiful. I used the white stained glass panes and blocks to create a little bit of texture even with the glass, and I really like that touch. Now, as far as our little chutes, here's the one to come up from down below, and here's our drop chute to go all the way down, and it is a long drop chute, but it gets the job done. And then we just come up and out into our beautiful training dojo XP spawner. And now that both these training dojo levels are completed, that is all the time I have for today's episode. We went on quite the adventure today. We tried to save that infected village, but everyone was dead except the nitwit. Then we went over to a new village, created a setup, and were able to get silk touch and mending, which we put on all of our armor, and we added mending to our tools as well. And then we came back and transformed our skeleton XP spawner into a training dojo. Now in the comments below, don't forget to give me a name for my iron sword we're going to be using in our XP farms, so let me know what we should name that, and I'll see you next time.